Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayana Namaskrityam Naram Jaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudhirayet Nashta Prayesha Abadheshu Nityam Bhagavati Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha Om Jnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanasalakaya Chakshurunmetam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupagata Mahyam Datati Swapadantikam Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Idinamine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyatya Desatarine Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे I wish you all a very happy Vaman Dwadasi. It's a very, very auspicious um, day, being the advent of Lord Vamana Dev. So, um, when we come to the end of this particular pastime in Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, there is a very nice description about the Falastuti. What we can expect when we very attentively hear to this part of the Bhagavatam, which is the glorification about the Lord Himself, definitely, and at the same time also Bali Maharaj. And today being the Onam, I think, I wish you all happy Onam. And we can also see that Onam is not just a cultural festival, but the roots come from where we can see in Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, yeah, from the time where the description of Sukadeva Goswami is narrating to Parikshit Maharaj in the 8th canto of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. This comes after the uh, Sura and Asuras, they come together to churn the Milky Ocean, and from that, uh, where the fight comes, where Mohini Murti comes, and then it goes further. And we can see Bali Maharaj is not just an ordinary person. Yeah. We can also see he is that one of the Mahajanas. How he became one of the Mahajanas, we can also understand from today. Yeah, short description. I won't be able to cover entire narration which is mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam along with the purpose of Prabhupada, but I definitely encourage you. I can share the link later. If someone is inspired, they can read during the day and understand the greatness of this particular pastime and be blessed. Before we start, any questions from yesterday, or first of all, I would like to know if the quality of the audio is good, and then we proceed. I think we are fine then. Able to hear me well?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay, then let's proceed. So yesterday we could cover to the part where Atidi has conducted very nicely and successfully this Payovrata, and after that she is blessed with the darshan of the Lord in the four-hand form, and later the Lord appeared in Kashyapa Muni and later into the womb of Aditi, and the demigods were very jubilant. And Gaur Bhagwan Prabhu, uh, raise your
Hare
hand.
Krishna, Prabhuji. Yes, Prabhuji, I had a question about Devtas,
Uh-huh.
that this Dev Yoni is for enjoyment of the punya. Then still there is this anxiety and all the troubles that Devta also get through, or
Yeah. What was the first word that you used? Deva?
this Dev Yoni and Daitya Yoni, or what you say, the
Mhm.
more punya brings you to heaven to enjoy your fruits of your karma.
Okay.
And still there is also these tribulations in the heavenly planets.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. The Acharya says that, or even Lord Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, even to the Brahmaloka, there is all these influences of modes of passion, ignorance, and goodness. So, which predominates, the more you go higher is the mode of goodness. Yeah. Where when you go more towards down, we know there are three worlds, 14 planetary systems, which are divided into three worlds. The upper you go is more subtle, and the lifespan is longer. And but it doesn't mean it is bereft of everything. It's not that it is a spiritual world. The heavenly planet is not considered to be spiritual world. Even the one who are living in the Amaravati, the capital of the heaven, or Indrapuri, they are not free from the effects of mortality. It means that they are also affected. They also have a lifespan. Only thing is, it's pretty long. Looks as if like yeah, as if like they live forever. But yeah, we know that when the devastation happens, when annihilation happens, then everything is devastated. This means the influence of the material energy is definitely there. Yeah. And otherwise, why would they even want to come back to planet Earth to do some devotional service and then promote themselves to the spiritual world? So the anxiety is always there. That's why we see in um, quite often we see that Indra is quite in anxiety. Mainly why? Because yeah, his position might be at risk. Yeah, we know that when we were going to the pastime of Prithu Maharaj, uh, he has Vibha, he has taken away the horse, and so on and so forth. So all these things shows that the heavenly planet, yeah, there is also anxiety. Why? Because there's it's still in the limits of material energy.
so Prabhuji, is it like 80% enjoyment and some 10-20% will remain this anxiety? Is it
I
like
would say one who is really in the mode of the duality of enjoyment, he is always in the mode of yeah, missing it, isn't it? The more you enjoy, the more you are scared, the more you are afraid, the more you are anxious. What will happen? You, for that matter, we don't have to see the inhabitants of heavenly planet. We can also see the people who are here. Yeah, they are scared of their opulences. One day that might be. So that's why there is always this rat race to keep it up, not that it falls down. So similarly, we can see Indra wanted to keep up his position, that, okay, one who enjoys that position, though it is honored, just like, okay, you have become the temple president, as in when you are engaging in your services, sometimes if the pride takes over, then you are scared. Okay, what will happen to my position? Yeah.
yes, Prabhuji. So the immaterial
The
whatever
yeah.
enjoyment comes, it comes with also.
Yeah. So that's why we see that one who is becoming more advanced jnanis, they are conscious about these risks. So that's why they prefer not to be entangled in these things. So that's why they try to keep themselves more looking inward by doing dhyana, becoming yogis on the Brahman. Yeah, they go to a higher planetary system. They have their own place. Thank God there is no much disturbances of apsaras there. But yeah, they also are ever vigilant that something might still disturb them. So that is always still there.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
And Prabhuji, though I had heard somewhere also that Lord Brahma, I don't remember the demon, but Lord Brahma was also sometime, yeah, scared of losing his position or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. It is there, and we also see in Bhagavatam that Lord Brahma, who is supreme intelligent, the first most intelligent being, he is when we say intelligence, right? So still he was captivated by the opposite gender. So all these things are there, yeah, and because of the opportunity they are looking, they can come to the planet Earth so that they can do devotional service. And it shows that, yeah, they are eager. They also know that their place, yeah, Brahmaloka, is may not be the best place for mm, enlightening into or actually going forward into spiritual world. Only very few they promote themselves with strict regime of performing austerious sadhana there. Okay, but I think if that is fine, we go into the pastime.
Prabhuji.
Because the topic itself is quite wide and sideline. So Aditi is pleased and she is blessed by a child who is none other than Lord Vishnu, and he appeared, and then in due course the Upanayan Sanskar was done, and in that we went through that what everyone gave him and etc. And then after Vamanadev learned that Bali Maharaj, he's also called Bali Chakravarti. So why? Because a Chakravarti means he's not just an ordinary king, he's a king who has conquered in a wide race, or what do you call? Um, we can see he has occupied heaven. He's anyway such a great leader, a ruler. So he's called Bali Chakravarti, also addressed. So he is doing Vishwajit Yajna because the priests of Bhrigu dynasty, they said, yeah, in order to keep up, I think this is where you came, yeah, with this question. So when Bali Maharaj became the ruler of heaven, he also wanted to keep it. So for that, he was doing some yajnas. So Vamana Dev, yeah, he went to the sacrificial arena. Where is that? It is in Bhrigu on the northern bank of Narmada River. The priest of Bali Maharaj, they saw Lord Vamandev was coming, and they saw it as like a rising sun. And seeing this effulgence, due to the effulgence of Vamandev, Bali Maharaj and his priest, they were thinking, this splendor is so nice. Is he the sun or fire or Sanat Kumar? Huh? And then the priests, thus they were arguing, who is he? Who is he? Vaman Dev, he was a dwarf holding a rod, water pot, and umbrella, yeah, like proper Brahman, wearing sacred thread, kusha, and everything. The priest, they stood up from their seat and they welcomed him properly by offering obeisances. And Bali Maharaj also very, very jubilant upon seeing the Vaman Dev uh, being the Lord, very, very beautiful, offered him a seat with great satisfaction and worshipped him by what? A very important act. This, if we are fortunate, we should do it. Tat pada saucham janakalmashapaham. The water that washes the Lord's lotus feet washes away the sinful reactions of everyone. Sadharmavin Murtidi Adadhul Sumangalam. Being aware of religious principles, Bali Maharaj placed that foot water on his head. So two actions. One is washing the lotus feet, and after washing the lotus feet, one just shouldn't think that, hey, this is dirty water, let me throw off. No, one should make every endeavor to get that water to be sprinkled on one's head. Yad Deva Deva Girisa Chandra Maulir. Dadara Murdha Parayacha Bhaktya. What happens with that? that water is carried on even head of great with great devotion by whom? By Lord Shiva, Chandra Maulir, who has the moon on his head, and by the best Deva Devas, and also by the demigods who hold emblem. So in that way, this shows the importance of what? Washing the feet of um, Brahmana. Here we can see. And the sacred water, we know the Ganges is sanctified because it emanates from the toe of Lord Vishnu. You know, uh, uh, some may think the greatness of Ganges is because Lord Shiva wears it on his head and Ganga Devi is Lord Shiva's consort. All these are very nice, but we can see actually Ganges is not from this world. It is actually from the spiritual world that is coming. We also can see this is what in Vaman Dev pastime we can see how the water Ganges comes from. Emanates from the toe of Lord Vishnu. Hmm. The water with which Bali Maharaj was the lotus feet of became equal to Ganges, and Bali took it on his head. And by this, what he has done, we know what Lord Shiva does. Shiva has mm, caught up this Ganges water on, what is that? In Jeta jute. In that way, he has kept the water, and then he has become a great Mahajan. Similarly, we can see here Bali Maharaj is taking the water and he's sprinkling on his head. He's also a great devotee, and we can see that he's later becoming a Mahajan. Hmm? And this is what is also the parampara, that one Mahajan follows another Mahajan, and by following the parampara system, Mahajan activities, one can become advanced in spiritual consciousness. So we can't see that it is some superficial, or we can't see this as uh, something sentimental, emotional. No, this is the process that we get it from parampara. And when it comes from parampara, this means it's coming from the source, which means it is scientific. So Balimara spoke to Vamandev. He was very, very happy, and then he heartily welcomed and offered a respectful obeisances. And he asked, "What can I do for you? You appear to be a personified austerity of all sages. Huh? Huh? You look like that. You seem not to be an ordinary." He is saying, by your arrival at our home, yad bhavam agato grahan adyana pitaras tripta. Today, all my forefathers are satisfied. The forefathers are ever eager that his descendant, who is alive, is performing devotional service. And what does it mean is when one by good fortune receives a sadhu at his home, that is the best thing that the forefathers are expecting, so that they get freedom from what kind of all kind of suffering that they may go through. They can get the entry pass to the spiritual world if such a service is rendered to the sadhu or the lord who appears at one's door. He says Adhyana Pavitam Kulam, and not only that, my dynasty has been sanctified. Today, my sacrifice has become complete. Now, whatever all the sacrifice has been, the sacrificial fire is ablaze according to Shastras. All my sins are destroyed by your foot water, and entire earth is sanctified by touch of your small feet. So, uh, Vamandev, being very satisfied the way that Bali Maharaj has welcomed him, offered a seat, and also glorified. Uh, and Vamandev is saying that whatever you have said, which is Su Nritam and also Dharma Yuktam. So it is very pleasing as well as religious. And then he offered his praise to Bali Maharaj. He said, "Your words are truthful, worthy of your dynasty. You are coming from that dynasty, so it's also worthy what you are speaking, and according to the religious etiquettes, and also enhancing your reputation." It is not just people are calling you so great. It is because of you really are great. That's fine. And you are so exalted because your advisors are who? You are just following the Brahmanas. You're not just speculating anything. Uh, Prabhupada mentions about this Mahajana Yena Gada Pantas. In that, Srila Prabhupada is saying that one is following the Mahajans and one is not going to dry speculation and thinking what one should do. I think I should do like this. There is no need of thinking when everything is already so clear. We just have to think how to do it, not what to do it. So, and your instructor, who is your instructor for future life is the peaceful Prahlad Maharaj. He's also saying indirectly that, hey, you have your grandfather who is Prahlad Maharaj, such a great devotee. So you all, obviously, you are very, very praiseworthy because of your superiors and your dynasty. No one in your family has been poor-minded. They were always uh, um, uh, very, very sattvic, and also not only that, they were also not kripanas. They were very generous in charity. No one have ever refused to give charity to Brahmanas. No one has failed to fulfill his promise of charity. Uh, why Vamana Dev is explicitly glorifying here about the magnanimous generosity of Bali Maharaj? He is saying, no one has ever refused to fight with Kshatriyas. He's also mentioning that, hey, you are not scared, you are not covered, timid. No, you are also having great spirit of fighting. It is even more glorious due to Prahlad, who shines like moon in the sky. Uh, and Prahlad Vamandev further glorifies, yeah, you are coming from the dynasty where Hiranyakashipu, such great Kshatriyas, they wandered. Hiranyaksha was wandering the globe with his club to conquer all directions. No hero he met could rival him. He was so strong. Uh, and even Lord Varahadev have killed him with great difficulty. At one stage, when the Devatas were observing the duel between Varahadev and Hiranyaksha, at a point they were scared. Oh, what is going to happen? Yeah. Initially, they were thinking it is Lord Vishnu who is going to finish the game soon. But see, it was so tense between the duel between them. Lord Varaha felt victorious only after reflecting on the great prowess of Hiranyaksha. After real thinking how great he is, and then he gave one tight slap, and then he fell flat. Then Vamandev also glorifies Hiranyakashipu. He says, uh, your great grandfather Hiranyakashipu, uh, he is not ordinary. He heard the news of his brother Hiranyaksha death, and then he had a vengeance. He thought he want to go. He even went to the residence of Vishnu. Hmm. He went to the residence of Vishnu, desiring to kill him. Uh, and Lord Vishnu, the best of all mystics and knower of time, thought, oh, wherever I go, Hiranyakashipu will follow me. And what he did? Just, so he thought, I will enter into his heart because his power can only see externally. Only yogis, if one who is self-controlled and equipoise and steady, one may go into his inner chambers to see what is there inside. Uh, but Hiranyakashipu, who is proud and egocentric, what will he see? He thinks that he knows everything about him. He will not see inside him, but actually, I think that is the safest place. So he will not see me. Thus, Lord Vishnu, in anxiety, Vivigna Cheta, entered the body of Hiranyakashipu in a subtle form through his nostril along with his breath. Uh, and then seeing the residence of Lord Vishnu being vacant, Hiranyakashipu became angry and searched all over the universe but could not find Vishnu anywhere. Then he thought, then what did he thought? He thought he must have gone to that place from which no one returns, which means maybe he went to Yamaloka. So Hiranyakashipu anger against Vishnu persisted until his death. Anyway, this is also said in the this chapter from verse 7 to 14 that describes. Here Vigna Cheta is used. Vamanadev himself is telling about Lord Vishnu that he was Vivigna Cheta. He was in anxiety. And we have to understand why. When I think Gaur Bhagwan, probably you were asking, anxiety, I can understand if it is in the material world. Anxiety, I can understand if it is a Jivatma. How can there be anxiety to Lord? Huh? Here, this Vivigna Cheta is not fear of Hiranyakashipu. Rather, due to his compassion, he had the anxiety. The Lord has always this anxiety, like, oh, what out of compassion, oh, my people are suffering. My people are suffering. Hmm. What is going to happen them? Because they have the free will to do anything what they want. This can happen, that can happen. He is anxious. He was in anxiety about how to act for Hiranyakashipu's welfare. Uh, it is said Hari Medasa. Hari Medasa means the Lord's brain is very active or actively thinking about the welfare of his devotees, of all the jivas. So if the Lord lies, we can see when Krishna says that I didn't eat mud, or if the Lord shows a sense of his fearfulness, or if the Lord shows greedy or lust or anger, are not desirable qualities for jiva, but they become great qualities in Lord for nourishing the rasa. Hmm. Lord is called Raseshwara. So as for that, yeah, he creates. Yeah, when the Lord desired, he wanted to fight. With whom can he fight? If you know that Lord is going to fight, or you are going to fight with the Lord, you will immediately say, no, 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 I give up. How can I perform such an offense? No, the Lord creates with his yoga maya, that he selects who is the best who can fight. In that way, Jaya Vijaya became Hiranyakashipu, Hiranyaksha. And then there is sense of this anger. When we talk about in Mahabharata, there is a sense of anger when uh, um, Krishna takes the wheel, chariot wheel, and he doesn't attack, but he just shows his anger against Bhishma Dev. And he is glorified and called as Chakrapani. Chakrapani, here we can see one is the Sudarshan Chakra and the other one is also this wheel that he lifted in the Mahabharata. So in that way, the Lord, these qualities provide a method for attaining the Lord by meditating on Him. So if the Lord does such kind of leelas, we can meditate on them. We can understand the deep essence of it, and then by that we can understand the greatness of the Lord, and we can understand the ways of how to lead a devotional life and dedicate ourselves to the Lord. So, and then Vamandev further, after praising Hiranyakashipu, he also said, your son, your father is not he's also very great. He was very, very affectionate towards the Brahmanas. He knowingly gave the duration of his life to the demigods who came to him in disguise of Brahmanas. So the demigods, when they came in disguise of Brahmanas, out of his great charity qualities, he has also um, gave the duration of his life. In that way, he is very, very praiseworthy. Then Vamandev also praised Bali. You also have observed the principles followed by a great householder. Hmm. I think his wife is Bindyavali. Brahmana's forefathers and famous heroes. You just are in the footsteps of them. Huh? And then Vaman Dev, because Bali Maharaj asked, you may ask whatever you want. Then Vamana Dev begs from Bali. He says, O king of demons, from you I ask only 3 paces of land to the measurement of my steps. I don't want anything else, although you are the king of universe. Here, Vamandev is addressing Bali Maharaj as Jagadishwara. We know Jagadishwara, we see that it is used for Lord Shiva because he is the Lord, he is the controller of the Jagat. And yeah, we can here also see the devotee of the Lord, Bali Maharaj. Is addressed as Jagadishwar and very, very Vadanya, very generous. We can see in this way that Bali Maharaj walked actually in the line of uh, how the other Mahajanas have been mm, serving the Lord and became very famous. Mm. A learned man who takes charity only according to his needs, Yavad Artha Pratigrahya, will not be entangled in sin. So I want 3 paces of land as per the measurement of my steps. So this is what Vamanadev asked. There is a very important point here where he's concluding this verse saying that, yeah, Yavad Artha Pratigrahya. So one should not be entangled by taking more, which means if one is becoming more greedy, if one becomes, when he acquires, it is said that one who acquires or spends money extravagantly is sinful. All the property, after all, belongs to whom? The Supreme Lord. And a living entity is becoming only what do you call this? Mm, it doesn't inherit. He's just looking after on behalf of the Lord. I forgot the word. So, um, so in that way, the living entities who are his children have the right definitely to use the father's property, but one cannot take more than necessary. Uh, this principle is very important for the Brahmanas and sannyasis uh, who are financially maintained by others. We know ideally Brahmanas and sannyasis, they don't have any business with the material world. What they have been uh, doing in the in all the previous yugas and also in Kali Yuga to some extent is yeah they have to meditate upon the supreme Brahman. They should become more realized. I think in Bhagavad Gita in the 16th chapter about the qualities that we are reading, all this sattva shuddhir, one should be very pure. Uh, and all these qualities, this so Brahmana is the one who is picking up all those wonderful divine qualities and maintain them. And in that process, he is not into the other worldly activities of how to gain money. Rather, he lives on the support system that is made by the Lord based on the Varnashrama system. And similarly, sannyasis, it is said that sannyasis from the material point of view are understood to be dead, which means a sannyas is, though he has the physical body, which is material body, but for the society he has um, uh, considered to be dead, which means he is also absorbed in serving the Lord wherever he is by traveling, by preaching, by being in a holy dham. So whatever exactly is needed, that's what he should have. He shouldn't have more than what is necessary. And how to get that? It's not just by earning them. It is said because they are supported by grihasthas. Mm. So that's why it's not their money, but it is funded. So that's why they should be very careful. So here we can see Vamandev was an ideal beggar. He said, I don't want too much, man. I only want 3 steps. I only want 3 steps because uh, he asked only 3 paces of land. Of course, we know the footsteps of are different for those of ordinary human beings, right? The Lord has big footsteps. Vamandev indirectly indicated to Bali that he was occupying more land than he needed. So he wanted to tell uh, Kshatriya, King Bali, hey, I think you have conquered too much than what you need. So, considering this, after hearing to Vaman, we know who is Vaman Dev. Yeah, we know that he is none other than Lord Vishnu. But in the scene, when we for a moment forget that this dog Brahmana is not Vaman Dev, we may think, hey, how is that? It appears to be he's less intelligent. Of course, a child, if you ask what do you want, he will ask a chocolate. Maybe if you ask a young, youthful person, he may say, I want a beautiful car or a nice bungalow. If you ask, so Bali Maharaj was thinking this Vaman Dev, this boy is less intelligent. He said, "O son of Brahman, your words are acceptable to the learned and elderly." So Vriddha Sammata, this is they accepted. Yet you are a mere boy with insufficient intelligence. Balisa Matihi. So you are like Bala, like a child, Balisho Matihi, and because of that, you are not asking properly. You are not aware of your self-interest. I can give you an entire island. I can give you a whole island. Yeah? These days, they want to have private islands. So the Lord is saying, I can give you an entire island, but you are asking only three steps. Huh? One who approaches me to beg something should not ask again anywhere, which means I can give that much that they will not have to beg next time, anywhere, anymore. So ask from me as much as land you need to maintain yourself, that you don't have to beg again. Huh? The Supreme Lord, who is the proprietor of all planets, both in the material and spiritual world, right? Why should he be want of a land? So Vamadev approached Bali Maharaj not for his personal interest, but for the welfare of his devotees, isn't it? So the devotees sacrifice all personal interest to satisfy the Lord. And similarly, the Lord, uh, although full in himself and self-satisfied, can do anything for the interest of his devotees. Because devatas, they have disappeared. Their residence is occupied. Because Atidhi is feeling great lamentation in seeing the pathetic situation of her sons. So Vamandev, he spoke a very important principle, and if we can imbibe this principle, I think our life also can become very, very happy. He's just saying, even all the sense objects within the three worlds cannot satisfy a person with uncontrolled senses. Ajitendriyam. Jitendriya means one who, Indriya means senses. Jitendriya means one who has victorious. And Ajitendriya means who has not conquered, who has not controlled the senses. Yavanto Vishaya Prestas Trilokyam Ajitendriyam Na Shaknuvanti Te Sarva Pratipura Itum Nrupa. Nrupa means king. He's saying, "O king, people in this world are anxious to get more and more things for sense gratification. However, the purpose of life is not sense gratification but self-realization. The purpose of controlling the senses is to stop one's implication in the cycle of birth and death." So greed is something that very is dangerous. Mm. If he's saying, if I am not satisfied with three steps of land, I will not be satisfied even with one of the seven islands in Bhumandal due to the desire for other islands. So if I am not satisfied, what happens? Even if I'm getting this one island, I'll ask again, why can't I have other island? After all, uh, we may not use this island well, but we may want to have other islands. Just like on the planet Earth, we are now having mission Mars, mission Moon, so many planets. Did we really understand this planet? What should we do here? Hmm. We are talking about karma bhumi, and in the karma bhumi, we should perform our austerity. We should perform so that then we can be successful. But no, we are thinking, no, no, no. There might be space. I think the world is already overpopulated. I think we have so many wars here. Why not? We can also have wars in the other planets. So Vaman Dev is saying, I'm satisfied with three steps. If I am not satisfied, even if all the sense object within the three worlds cannot satisfy a person with uncontrolled senses. So we should understand this. The greed can ride us on that where we don't turn back to see what do we have, but we only want to occupy more and more and more. So not only that, here Vaman Dev is giving the example like Prithu and Gaya ruled over the seven Dvipas. Still, they could not achieve satisfaction. Hmm. What is satisfaction and dissatisfaction? Yadricha pannena santusto vartate sukham. One should be satisfied with whatever one achieves by one's previous destiny. We should not say, no, 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 come on, I don't believe in all this. Everyone works, the passion can create their destination. Nasha, na santushtas trivir loker, ajita, atma, upasaditaihi. One who is not self-controlled will not be happy even with possessing the three worlds. So, Vamana Dev is telling Brahmana is telling to Bali Maharaj that, the jivas, if they are satisfied, what will they get? If they are not satisfied, what will they get? If they're satisfied, they become fit for liberation from the material suffering. Huh? So a living being, if he is satisfied with what he has, even while he is alive, he is fit for liberation from the material suffering. But if one is not satisfied with what he has, then what happens? He continues to be in the material life. mm, And in the repeated cycle of birth and death, he goes again and again because he's still finding, hey, I think I can get some happiness here. I can get some happiness there. If I become a girl, I'll be happy. If I become a boy, I will be happy. If I become a lion, I can be happy. If I become a dog, I can be. So we are trying to find out some way or the other how to be happy in this. And because we are not turning to the real process, what is that? Satisfaction is through which one can be freed. Hmm? Because the senses, they are they demand, huh? They constantly demand happiness. Huh? After you get a phone, you want another phone. After you get that phone, you want another phone. And whatever comes in the market, you want that. There is no end. And the market is churning some way or the other to bring us this kind of hope that this thing will make me happy, that thing will make me happy. No, version one, version two, in that way. The churning is bringing up some new products, and then people are trying, and then before they could really get satisfied with that, there's something else and giving us again some false hope. Then, then what about the Brahmanas? This Brahmana is saying a Brahman who is satisfied, then what happens? His spiritual power increases. If, yeah, sometimes we think that, hey, how to become more strong, how to become more spiritual strength. Uh, Again, if a Brahman, first of all, one who is a Brahman, who is having the qualities of a Brahman, if he is maintaining, there is also this satisfaction. When he is satisfied, then his spiritual power increases. But for the same Brahmana, if he is not satisfied, what happens? The spiritual power decreases like fire extinguished by water. So conclusion is saying, so I ask for only 3 paces of land from you. This much will satisfy me. The way of happiness is to be fully satisfied with whatever is absorbed, absolutely needed only. So Bali Maharaj, yeah, he smiled and okay, though he is a small boy, but a Brahman, and the words are praiseworthy. So he said, all right, take whatever you like. I confirm. And then to confirm, he took water pot, some water from that, and then when he is about to confirm this. Now, Sukracharya, he understands who is this because Sukracharya is considered to be the best of the knowers. Uh, Vidham Varaha immediately spoke to Bali Maharaj, his disciple. He want to. A guru always want to protect his disciple. But here we should see what kind of guru he is. Hmm. Just this part will help us to understand. Sukracharya gives 9 reasons not to give charity to Vamanadev. Huh? Here he's saying this brahmachari is personally the imperishable Lord Vishnu, who appeared as son of Atidhi and Kashyapa. So why did he come? He came for a purpose. The purpose is, yeah, he is asking for three pieces of land, but you know what? He actually wants to fulfill the interests of the demigods, who are our rivals. So giving, if you promise, then this will harm us, the demons. The promise you have made unknowingly will bring great inauspiciousness to the demons. Not only that, Hari will usurp everything. Mm. Hari means, take away. Lord Hari, who has come to take your land, wealth, beauty, fame, power, education, and he will give everything back to Indra. Whatever you have uh, attained, everything will be gone. In the purport, Prabhupada writes, Lord Hari takes away all the miseries and the minds of his devotees. That's why he's called Hari. Haran, to take away. But Lord is not interested in the material things. He wants to take away all the miseries and the minds of his devotees. In the beginning, we can see he superficially takes the material possessions, reputation, education, and beauty attachment to which will hinder the devotee's advancement in bhakti. So this is what Vaman Dev is also doing. And so thus Vaman is special, showed special favor to Bali Maharaj, considering Bali Maharaj as his devotee. Uh, uh, and but Bali Maharaj might be thinking, but he has promised only for three steps, right? Three steps, that too from this small boy, how much it would be. But Sukracharya, he is thinking that how will you live? When you give him charity of three steps, he will occupy the three worlds. Sukracharya is feeling insecure. What is going to happen? In the purport, Prabhupada refers from the why is Sukracharya so much insecure? He is insecure because as the Brahmanas are maintained by Kshatriyas, and if the Kshatriya makes mistakes, who is going to suffer? It is the Brahmanas. So, Sukracharya was a Smarta Brahman of the priest class. And interested in the remuneration from disciples. So Brahman, and he is interested in that. He felt that Bali's promise would cause havoc to his um, own family, and that to his descendants. So demons may not be there, and also what about his uh, how to sustain? So you can't even fulfill your promise, first of all. Why? Because Vaman will occupy the three worlds with his first step, three worlds with first step, the outer space with his second step. And what will you cater him for the third step? That's why in Bhagavad Gita we see that Krishna is saying, "Hey, I am Sukracharya." So because he's so intelligent, here we can see he's telling, uh, if you don't anyway, you are thinking that those three steps will not bother you. No, no, those three steps will really bother because you can't fulfill your promise because the third step is not there. And when one doesn't fulfill the promise, what will happen? His destination is hell. Unable to fulfill your promise, you have to reside in hell forever. Better than that, Sukracharya is saying, better, no, no, don't do that. Better you don't fulfill your promise. At least in this material world, whatever you have earned, enjoy that. Huh? Enjoy that. Livelihood is more important than charity. It is also said, na, one should not give charity more than one cannot live. Charity that endangers one livelihood is not praiseworthy. Charity, sacrifice, austerity, and fruitive acts are possible for one who is competent to earn his livelihood properly. And Sukracharya is also saying how to divide the charity is basically one's wealth can be divided into five parts for religion, reputation, opulence, sense gratification, and family maintenance. And accordingly, whatever is for the religion that can be given. Hmm. So Bali Maharaj, he was hearing, and Sukracharya is telling, because you have not given the promise by preceding your words with Om. You can take back your promise because in Bhagavata Shruti it is said a promise is truthful preceded by the word Om and untruthful if not. So that is the evidence. See, one who is equipped with Shastras, he can also use it for Niyamagraha. I think, I don't know if Suryatesh Prabhu you are there, example here. Then maintain the body. even by untruth is allowed. Without the help of bodily tree, Atma Vriksha, there cannot be factual fruits and flowers. So we definitely need the body. The role of body is very important. Because of this, uh, one second, I don't know what is. Adirasa Prabhu, something you want to say?
No, Babuji.
Fine, then I'll go on. So, yeah, so we for Atma Sakshatkar, yeah, even self-realization, what do we need is definitely this body. This is a means or a vehicle so that we can practice devotional activities, and by that we can get the fruits and flowers, right, or whatever the results. Untruth is the root of the body. So he starts glorifying the benefit of being untruthful. uh, Untruth is the root of the body. If the untruth is uprooted, the bodily tree becomes dried up. So, if we want to live, hmm, sometimes we may have to speak. We may speak lie. This is what Sukracharya is saying. In order to make it clear that by truthful words the body cannot survive, Sukracharya explains. hmm, Sukracharya explains the bad qualities of the truth and the good qualities of lying. What he says, the utterance of Om signifies separation from one's wealth. When one gives everything to a beggar, one remains unfulfilled and unfulfilled in sense realization and also in sense gratification. So, yeah, rather than that, why to give charity? Hmm? He's saying the good quality of lies is, what? Telling a lie and refusing to give protects one's wealth and attracts others' wealth. So, but one who always lies becomes infamous, and though breathing is a dead man. Hmm? So, and finally he says, Shastras are supporting that one can say lie on circumstances like to flatter a woman, uh, in joking mood, in a marriage, in earning livelihood, yeah, and in life danger, and also in protecting cows and Brahmanical culture, and in protecting a person from an enemy's hand. So then, yeah, Apadharma says one can speak lie. That is all fine. So Sukracharya has uh, given so much shastrical references through which he is saying, hey, first of all, what you're doing is not right, and what can be done so that you can save yourself even now. It's not too late. Despite Sukracharya advises, and despite knowing that Lord Vamandev was Lord Vishnu who came to cheat him, Bali Maharaj, he prepares to give everything to Lord in charity. That is the greatness of Bali Maharaj. Why and how? This is, yeah, we see further. Bali Maharaj, after hearing all this, he remained silent for some time, and then he replied with full deliberation. Hmm. He was not scared. He was not scared. Now, what is going to happen? Oh, I made a big mistake, or I should immediately take up to what my guru has told. Rather, Bari Maharaj told, what you have spoken is true. So he acknowledged the truth. The dharma of a householder does not hinder his artha, kama, uh, um, and yasha and vritti. Uh, so the principle of bhakti is very important here. Sukracharya, what he did, being a person of this material world, did not know the principle of a devotee. A devotee is determined to serve the Supreme Lord to his full satisfaction. What does this principle mean? Anukulyasya sankalpa pratikulyasya what is that? Varjanam. What is unfavorable for devotee, he will give away. And what is favorable for devotion, he takes them up. So here we can see the spirit of Bali Maharaj being a devotee, how he is, in spite everything, yeah, in spite of giving everything, why he is giving that? He wants that the Lord is pleased. Because the satisfaction of the Lord is the satisfaction for the devotee. Anukulyasya sankalpa. We take up that duty which is favorable for devotion. Anything that hampers such determination should certainly be rejected. Sukracharya, what he's saying, uh, uh, he's saying, and then the question will come immediately: how can, is it allowed that a disciple can reject the instructions of his guru? I don't know. Rishabh Prabhu, you are there? Last Wednesday, I don't know if you're not there, but Wednesday he was asking me a question. Okay, um, how to uh, how to be saved from? Say, there are so many kind of bogus gurus, right? Yeah, what happens because scripture says that one should follow the guru as it is, and but then if there are some bogus gurus and this disciple is just following him, what happens? Here we see that. When, first of all, here we're seeing that Sukracharya, who is telling on the worldly platform, and Bali Maharaj, who is a devotee, and we'll also see how he became a devotee shortly, is disobeying his guru. Bali had the opportunity to offer everything to Lord Vamana, but Sukracharya was putting forward material arguments to hamper this process of bhakti. When a devotee wants to offer everything to the Lord, then, if someone is impending or hampering that, hmm, so Bali Maharaj, after deliberating, he decided that Lord Vishnu should be pleased in all circumstances, even at the risk of ignoring the Guru's advice. This means that by not following the orders of Guru, definitely what will happen? It will have its own consequences. But uh, Bali Maharaj is saying, Bali discerned that if his Guru advised something against the desire of the Supreme Lord, then there would be no fault in his disobeying those instructions. So this is a very important secret. So I think that day I was also discussing or saying that one should be very, very vigilant to see how the Guru is representing his Guru, and in that way, is he coming in the parampara? Most of the issues are coming because when one is not following the parampara properly, and because of that, one gets cheated. And rather, if one has the mercy of Guru, just here we'll see uh, Bali Maharaj uh, is considered to be Kripa Siddha. What is Kripa Siddha? Means the mercy has made him the devotee. We know that there is sadhana siddha. There is sadhana siddha means one who is following the rules and regulations by his guru, following them and advancing, so that he is becoming a devotee. Whereas here we see Pali Maharaj has kripa siddha. How we will look into that later. So, for Bali Maharaj being such a great devotee, that's why he said, okay, one will obstruct dharma by disobeying the guru. That is fine. Dharma is one level, but one will obstruct bhakti by disobeying the Supreme Lord. Whatever the Supreme Lord said, if the guru, so-called guru, is not presenting that, uh, by disobeying the guru and following the spiritual, the Supreme Lord, yeah, he is not. Um, um, Doing a bigger harm. Yeah, he's actually there will be effect of disobeying a guru. That also we will see. But here, by not obeying the Lord, which is actually then it obstructs the bhakti. So when we want to see, okay, is it dharma? Yeah, and is it bhakti? Then we can see that if we are presented the principles as it is by the Guru, by following that, what is happening? Our bhakti is developing, is more vardhanam. Yeah, it is what do you call? No, more and more. It grows more. Yeah. But when we take up to fake gurus and if we follow those instructions, our bhakti will be obstructed because we are distracted, we are diverted, we start seeing, appreciating the world, and then we become more attracted by the Vishaya. So Bali, and then while rejecting, he started giving his reasons to give charity. Shukracharya gave 9 reasons, and Vamana, Bali Maharaj also gives 9 reasons why he should. give charity. He says, I am the grandson of Prahlad Maharaj. How can I withdraw my promise out of greed for money and cheat a Brahman? So I'm coming, yeah, Prahlad Maharaj, he is my grandfather. And because Prahlad Maharaj is his grandfather, he received the mercy from Prahlad. As Lord Vishnu says, he gave even um, liberation, yeah, in the case of Hiranyakashipu. Yeah, this is what Prahlad Maharaj asked. At that time, Lord already said, don't think about that, it's already done. So Bali Maharaj being the grandson of Prahlad Maharaj, yeah, he's saying, yeah, how can I cheat a Brahman? This is coming. So Bali Maharaj spontaneously decided, I shall give this dove whatever he asks. And this is actually sign of love for the Lord. It is not like, okay, now we are understanding every bit and piece and then understand we should we do, what we should not do. That is sadhana siddha level of coming to a platform of worshipping the Lord. Whereas one who is Kripa Siddha, because the mercy of the devotees, due to which he is getting the spontaneous attraction that he want to serve. Huh? So this is one. And now when you're talking about sin of a lie, there is nothing more sinful than untruthfulness, asatyam. Why? In fact, Mother Earth once said, I can bear any heavy thing except the burden of most heinous liar. Alika Param. One who is lying like that, one who is not truthful, that is very, very burdensome for me. Then he says, uh, um, I do not fear hell, poverty, an ocean of distress, or falling from position, or even death, as much as I fear cheating a Brahmana. Uh, so, and here we have, see, on one side we have Sukracharya, he is also a Brahman, and also this dwarf, but he is saying, uh, 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 both are Brahmanas, and here he is also, one may think that, yeah, but then to fulfill the Brahman who has fulfill the promise to that Brahman, he is not following the instructions of this, but he is prioritizing the aspect of bhakti. And he further says, everything is temporary. Wealth is anyway separated at death. Why not please a Brahman with those gifts that I anyway lose at death? Anyway, when that comes. Yeah. So, Bali Maharaj addresses this Vamana Deva as Vipra. Why? So that he can, though inspired, Sukracharya told that this boy is not a ordinary boy, he is none other than Lord Vishnu. In after knowing also, Bali Maharaj is not addressing this boy as Lord Vishnu. Why? Because in order to hide his bhav for the Lord, because being a Kripa Siddha, he has great bhav for the Lord. The word Vipra means Brahmana and at the same time confidential. Bali Maharaj, a pure devotee, has confidentially decided to offer everything to Lord Vishnu. Huh? Everything to Vamandev, he also decided without discussion. But because such a decision would hurt the heart of his uh, uh, fellow demons and his guru, Bali spoke, equivocally, so that everyone are not disturbed. Then he further says that, I am, there is great persons like Dadichis, Shivi, and many other great men sacrificed even their own lives for the benefit of people in general. So why should I hesitate to give up this insignificant land? What about fame? Fame. Time has destroyed everything that the heroic demon kings had except their reputation. So one should achieve a good reputation instead of anything else. Huh? But yeah, this is only to please Sukracharya. But actually, Bali Maharaj, who is a devotee of the Lord, he uh, actually had no desire for fame, but just so that Sukracharya may think, fame, fame is very important. So if one has such a fame, then so that's why he says. And finally, he says the rarity of chance for charity. Many men have laid down their lives gloriously on the battlefield. uh, being unafraid of fighting, but rarely could they get an opportunity to give charity to Brahmana. Hmm. So in that way, even if everything is gone, huh, What is very important is sometimes poverty. Poverty is very nice. If everything is gone, that's fine. In poverty, the glory of a benevolent and merciful giver is in becoming poverty stricken by giving charity to the needy. Then what to speak of giving charity to a knowledgeable Brahmin like him? Similarly, I must give this brahmachari whatever he wants. And then, when finally he's saying, if Lord Vishnu himself comes, the person who great sages like you worship, after all, Sukracharya, what are you worshipping? You are worshipping through sacrifices is to whom Lord Vishnu, all the sacrifice, whatever one does, yajnas, bhoktaram, yajna tapasam, sarvaloka maheshwaram. So everything is for Vishnu. So if that same Vishnu had come here, whether to give me boons or to punish me as an enemy, I must carry out his orders. Huh? Although he is Vishnu, out of fear he came in the form of a Brahman. Even if he religiously arrests me or even if he kills me, I shall not retaliate. Huh? Here is saying, because as Bali Maharaj is seeing this boy as though he knows he is Vishnu, he's still talking in the form of Vipra. He's saying, hey, this guy, if he has come, if he is Vishnu out of fear, he came in the form of Brahman. Even if he is religiously arrest me, or even if he kills me, I shall not retaliate. So, if Lord Vishnu, as he in the form of dwarf Brahman, had come to Bali Maharaj and asked him to do something, Bali certainly would not have refused his request. But to enjoy a little humor between himself and his devotee, who are they? The Lord came as Brahmana Brahmachari to beg for only 3 feet of land. So here we can see there is also another dimension of the relation that they are relishing, the Lord and his devotee. If this Brahman were really Lord Vishnu, he would never give up his fame. You know, if he is Lord Vishnu will never give up his fame. And what will happen? He would either lie down having been killed by me, so which means if I kill him, he would lie down within my heart, or he would kill me in the fight. And in both the ways, it is all auspicious. And finally, Bali Maharaj, when he gave this, the Guru could not tolerate. Sukracharya was inspired by the Supreme Lord to curse Bali. He said, "Hey, you have disobeyed me. For your disobedience, uh, although Bali was exalted, magnanimous, and fixed in truthfulness, Satyasandham, thinking yourself to be learned, you dare be so impudent as to disobey my order. You shall very soon be bereft of all opulence." This is the moment. This is the moment, right? If you remember in the start of this Leela, we are discussing that uh, Brihaspati says to Indra and others that you can't do anything now because he has Brahma Tejas. When he disobeys a Brahmana, then what will happen? Then yeah, his power is diminished. So Sukracharya was inspired by the Lord, Daiva Prahita, to curse Bali, and he was influenced by his previous offense to the Lord. Bali wasn't swayed in his determination. Bali Maharaj, what he did, he washed the feet along with his wife, Vindhyavali, brought the water in a golden pot, washed, and then uh, seeing this, who will do that? Who will take life risk? Hmm? Here, seeing this, all the Gandharvas, Vidyadharas, Siddhas, Chanaras praised Bali Maharaj simple and non-duplicitous uh, Arjavam act and showered flowers upon him. They sounded thousands of drums and declared, "Exalted Bali has performed most difficult task, since knowingly he gave the Lord the entire 3 worlds." Just imagine who would do that. Hmm? Only one who is so much determined to be a just servant of the Lord. Nothing else he can do. He can give up. Uh, so no one can give anything to the Lord, for he is full in everything and everything belongs to him. It is like offering a palm full of Ganges water to the Ganga river. What we offer, when you take the Arghyam, right, you're taking the water from the river, and then you are saying, hey, I'm offering it to you. So, but such offering, one becomes a recognized devotee, isn't it? Otherwise, if one is not doing this activity, devotional activity, how can one know? So when one's face is decorated, it's reflected in mirror, automatically becomes beautiful. Therefore, when the Lord is served, the devotees and all living entities become happy automatically. So Vaman Dev started occupying. He started occupying. Uh, he for that he started increasing himself. He expanded himself until everything in the universe was within his unlimited body. There is a whole description about how the Lord expands, um, uh, and then this universal form. Bali Maharaj and everyone present saw the Lord's universal body that contained everything, including the gross elements, senses, sense objects, mind, intelligence, false ego, various jivas, and actions and reactions of three modes. Hmm. There is whole description about how the universal form, yeah, the souls are lower planets like Rasatal, feet, surface of the globe, calves, mountains, knees, birds, thighs, air. So there's whole description of his universal form. And then the Lord's weapons, the demons were perturbed upon seeing the Lord's weapons in the universal form. He was holding various kinds of weapons. There is the Sudarshan Chakra that generates intolerable heat. Uh, um, that appeared to offer prayers. All these weapons came, they were offering prayers. Bow that generates tumultuous sound, Panchajanya conch shell that made sound like a cloud, Kaumodika club which is forceful, Vidyadhara sword, a shield with hundreds of moon-like spots, uh, and Akshaya, the best of quivers. Okay. Hmm. So the Lord's associates, headed by Sunanda and other chief associates and deities of various planets, offer him prayers. The Lord wore a brilliant helmet, bracelets, and glittering earrings that resembled fish. On his bosom were Srivatsa mark and Kaustubha gem. He wore a yellow garment covered by a belt and a garland surrounded by bees. The Lord covered the entire surface of earth with one footstep, the sky with his body, all the directions with his arms, the heavenly planets with his second step, and not even a spot remained for the third step, for the Lord's foot extended higher and higher beyond Maharloka, Janarloka, Taparloka, and even Satyaloka, which is Brahmaloka. So that is what is mentioned. One may have a question. Bali Maharaj promised Vamandev only the land occupied by his steps. For us, usually we think step means we lift our feet and keep it there, right? But how can the Lord occupy the sky also? Hmm. Srila Jiva Goswami answers that the steps include everything downward and upward. Means, example given here is when one stands up, when you stand up, one certainly occupies certain part of the sky also, right? And certainly portions of the earth below one's feet. So it is not just a foot means it's only the length from his front to the back of the toe. It means that whatever when he's expanding the three steps, uh, when you stand, you're also occupying the three-dimensional the space in the sky area also. So thus there was nothing uncommon for the Lord when he occupied the entire sky with his body. Hmm. Then, if you remember how we started this, Parikshit Maharaj asked, does anyone remember what was the question Parikshit Maharaj asked Sukadeva Goswami in the beginning of this pastime? No? Anyone remembers? There were two questions. First of all, why did the Lord occupy three pieces of land? Why did he ask for this boon? What is the second question?
Why punish him?
Sorry?
Why tied him? Why he tied him?
Why did he arrest? In spite of such a
Yeah.
great generously giving, why did he arrest? Do we want to know that? Huh? This is what comes interestingly. In spite of giving up himself completely, then what happened is, uh, um, yeah, when the Lord expanded that way, and the effulgence of Vamandev's toenails reduced the effulgence of Brahmalok. Lord Brahma, the sages like Marichi and yogis all seemed insignificant. Various people came to worship him. There's whole description. Then what happened is, uh, um, the water from Brahma's pot, purified by washing the lotus feet of Lord Vaman, became the water of Ganges. Lord Brahma worshipped the upraised lotus feet of Lord Vaman with oblations of water and then offered prayers unto him. So, so here we can see that the water from Brahma's pot, which he used to clean, wash the lotus feet of Lord Vamanadev, became the water of Ganges. And then what happened? Falling down from the sky, it purifies the three worlds like the pure fame of the Supreme Lord. Hmm. In this connection, we see Prabhupada writes that the water from Brahma's pot became purified by washing Vamana's feet and then became the Ganges. And however, in the fifth canto, we see that Ganga arose from the causal ocean outside the universal shell. Yeah, when there was small, when Vaman Dev, when he was expanding, then his toenail, it pierced the outer shell, yeah, universal shell, and whatever water in the Kanana, what is that? Uh, Karana Nava. Yeah. So whatever that causal water, yeah, this is the water on which the Lord is laying in his snake bed. That water that came is said as Ganges. And elsewhere it is mentioned that Ganga is directly a liquid form of Narayan. Thus, it should be understood that all three of these mix and become the Ganges. So it's not like, oh, is that Ganges or this? All these three are Ganges. Lord Vaman then reduced to his original form. Lord Brahma and demigods collected various ingredients and paraphernalia and worshipped him. Then all worshipped Lord Vaman uh, by offering flowers, water, sandalwood pulp, incense, lamps, fruits, and so on. They all danced, sang, and played musical instruments. Jambavan, the king of bears, sounded bugle in all directions and declared a great festival of Lord Vaman's victory. But then, while this happened, the demons tried to attack Vaman. They could see, hey, they became very, very angry. This Vaman is not a Brahman but Vishnu, the greatest of cheaters. It says Vishnur Maya Vinam Vara, working for the interest of demigods. Because our Lord Bali had given up the power to punish while performing sacrifice, Vaman took away all his possessions. Uh, Bali Maharaj is always fixed in truthfulness. So it is our duty to kill this Vaman and thus serve our master. The demons took up their weapons, aggravated by their usual anger, and rushed to kill Vamandev against the will of Bali Maharaj. Lord Vishnu's associate forbade. What happened now? Nanda, Sunanda, Jaya, Vijaya, Garuda, Jayanta, and others are as powerful as 10,000 elephants began killing the demons. Bali Maharaj, he forbade his soldiers to fight, seeing that they were being killed by Lord's associates and remembering the curse of his Guru. What did Guru said? Yeah, everything diminishes. Bali told the demons, oh Viprachitti, oh Rahu, oh Nemi, please stop fighting. By human efforts, no one can supersede the Supreme Lord, who can bring happiness and distress to all living entities. Time which represent the Supreme Lord was previously in our favor, but now it is against us. Balena Sachivair Buddhya Durgair Manutro Sha Dadibihi. By power, by council of ministers, by intelligence, by fortresses, by mystic mantras, by drugs or herbs, by diplomacy or other similar means, no one can overcome time factor. Anyway, we are going a little faster. This verse also has so much to discuss, but yeah. And so in that way, it says the demons entered the The lower in accordance with Bali's order, their master, the demons entered the lower regions of universe, being driven by the soldiers of Vishnu. Thereafter, Garuda arrested Bali with the ropes of Varuna Pasha, on the day of Somapana, after the sacrifice was finished. Garuda, he understood the Lord's intention. Having accepted all of Bali's possessions, my master now desires to accept Bali's very self. Unable to pay his debt, the Lord will become Bali's doorkeeper. Anyway, this is further detail. Thus, Garuda arrested Bali Maharaj to show the entire universe that the greatness of king's tolerance and devotion. Then there was a great roar of lamentation throughout the upper and lower planets when Lord Vishnu thus arrested Bali. Lord Vaman then addressed Bali, the most magnanimous and famous personality who lost all the wealth but fixed in his determination and intelligence to satisfy Vamandev. He said, O king, you have promised me 3 steps, but I occupied the entire universe by 2. Where should I put my 3rd step? All the land in the universe is in your possession. With 1 step, I occupied Bhurloka. With my body, I occupied all the directions. With the 2nd step, I occupied the upper planets. The Lord now speaks to show that uh, to the world, the steadiness and pure bhakti of Bali is unimaginably great. For that, he is just putting further. One may think here, how cruel is Lord Vishnu to ask like that? He's saying, because you couldn't fulfill your promise of charity, you should go to hell. Also, as per your guru's order, go and live there along with him. He's saying, yeah, Sukracharya, who has given you, yeah, first of all, what he said is not right, so he'll go to hell. And because you have not fulfilled his words, you also go to hell. So every person, even a person with bhaktya bhas, should not go to hell. How then can a pure devotee go to hell just for breaking his promise? This should be our question. Niraye can also mean Nilaye. Thus, the Lord indicated to Bali, go and live in my abode Vaikunta. Though now I am ordering you to enter my special place, he will go further. Prabhupada writes in the purport already to help us not to be having such cruel feelings for how the Lord has dealt, to already reveal what the Lord is also blessing him. So for that, Bali Maharaj says, even though the Lord seemed to have mistreated Bali and made him break his promise, Bali Maharaj spoke to the Lord with an undisturbed mind. Aviklavam abhinna atma. 3 steps on my 3rd step on my head. This is, he says, oh Uttama Shloka, if you think that my promise has become false, I shall rectify it. Please place your 3rd footstep on my head. Now the question comes, how could Bali Maharaj's head be worth enough for the 3rd step? Because with Lord's too gigantic, he has occupied everything, the space in all directions, etc. Answer is that the possessor of wealth is considered far greater than his wealth. So, which means whatever wealth he has given, it is only his wealth, which means he's still there, which means he can still offer himself. And Bali Maharaj is addressing the Lord as Uttama Shloka. Why? Because the Lord, who is glorified with his with best poetry, in a joking way, he's saying, hey, if you are still Uttama Shloki, you are so great, people will praise you. Though you are the husband of goddess of fortune, Lakshmi, you beg land from a beggar like me. He's making fun of that. And you desire to possess more land by tricks, cheated brahmanas in the guise of brahmachari, showed desire for material objects, etc. You show all as your natural qualities. So, since you were on a mission on behalf of your devotees, you did not regard all this as cheating of me. I cannot be considered as devotee. Nonetheless, I must satisfy you to be the best of my ability. So you take the 3rd step by keeping your foot on me. So Bali Maharaj took the pleasure in understanding the Lord's purpose. So that's why he was ready. He was happy. After all, that is the purpose of life. So the Lord So Bali Maharaj's words shouldn't appear to be falling short and an act of cheating the Lord. Thus, Bali Maharaj made his promise true by offering his head for the third step. He is saying, my greatest fear, I do not fear living in hell. If you say I go to Niraya, which is actually Nilaya, falling from my position, Padachyuta, and being arrested, Pasha Bandhar, suffering unbearable calamities, difficulties of poverty, or being punished by you, as much as I fear defamation, asadu vadat. So that's why the Lord's punishment is for spiritual benefit. This is what yeah, we should understand here. When we see that, okay, how come that when Bali Maharaj has given his third, after that also he didn't release him? Why is he punished? Pumsam, here is saying, for all men, I consider the most exalted punishment is that which is given by you. Although a father, mother, brother, or friend may sometimes punish one as a well-wisher. So, Lord's punishment should be treated as that, the best punishment. Punishment given by Lord is accepted by the devotee as greatest mercy. The so-called punishment by Lord is only his favor to correct his devotees and bring them to the right path. So the Lord may say, but I am famous for helping the demigods, not the demons. So here Bali is saying, you are our indirect well-wisher. We may say, okay, but Lord punishes the demons, right? Even that punishment is for their welfare. We demons are blinded by false prestige and by chastising us. You give us the eyes for us to see the right path. So, Bali Maharaj indicated indirect benefit is greater than the direct benefit. Your favor to us is greater than that of demigods. Giving the devatas material of power, because now you are going to give them back their heaven, all their what they have lost. But what you give us, devatas, while taking away our wealth, you give us the eyes of knowledge. I think Gaur Bhagwan Prabhu, when we have so much opulences, we may not see things, but when we are bereft of opulences, we may see things. So Bali Maharaj also speaks about the Lord's mercy on the other demons. What to speak of me? You are dedicated devotee. Uh, Even the demons who hated you got your extraordinary mercy. Many demons achieved perfection of mystic yoga upon being delivered by you, although they were continuously inimical towards you. So you can perform one work to serve many purposes. Bhuri Kamana. Uh, so I don't feel ashamed or aggrieved on being arrested by you. When Bali Maharaj has no problem, it's only the people who are atheistic, they have problem. Hey, how come? How come Lord can do this? When we understand the dealings between the Lord and devotees are very confidential and very, very personal, they have a right understanding. What Lord does definitely is the best for one. So Bali Maharaj could understand that Lord has had some hidden purpose in punishing him. Consequently, he was neither unhappy nor ashamed in being in that awkward position. One thing he remembered, Bali Maharaj, he reminds the Lord about his grandfather who also showed great tolerance in the midst of awkward situations. Prahlad Maharaj, my grandfather, was harassed in many ways by his father, yet he remained faithful, taking shelter at your lotus feet. Right? So, what is the use of material body which leaves its owner at end of life? It's of no use, right? What is the use of relatives who are like plunderers taking away money meant for Lord's service? What is the use of a wife who increases material bondage? What is the use of a home, country, and community that merely wastes one's lifetime? So, Bali Maharaj, only by providence that I have been forcibly brought under your lotus feet and deprived of all my opulence. Due to illusion, materialistic people cannot understand that life is temporary, but I am saved from such a condition. While 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 Bali Maharaj uh, was thanking, being very grateful to Vamana Dev, Prahlad Maharaj comes. Prahlad Maharaj, he says, the Lord's dear devotee, Bhagavat Priya, appeared there at the time like the rising moon. He was dark, tall, dressed in yellow, elegant with lotus eyes and long arms. His was dear and pleasing to everyone. And then he came. Bali couldn't offer befitting respect to Prahlad. Why? Because he was tied by Garuda Pash. No, Varun Pash. Due to being bound by the ropes, he offered respects with his hands. His eyes were filled with tears and his face was lowered in shame. And Prahlad was overwhelmed upon seeing the Lord with his associates. He had tears of jubilation and his eyes stood on end. He offered obeisance to the Lord. And finally, Prahlad Maharaj also endorsed Vaman's punishment. He said, you saved. My Lord, it is you who gave heaven to Bali, and it is you who have now taken it. Uh, in both situations, you are equally merciful. Hmm. By taking away all of Bali's opulence, you have saved him from bewilderment of mind, Atma Mohanat. So that it makes even a learned, self-controlled man forget to pursue the goal of self-realization. But Narayan, the Lord of the universe, is witness of everything, and I offer my respects unto you. And then his wife, Vindhyavali, she is saying, Brahma was always was about to speak to Lord Vaman within the hearing of Prahlad, but Bali's chaste wife, Vindhyavali, uh, to see the condition of her husband being arrested, she folded her hands and spoke. And then what did she speak? She was saying, O Lord, you have created the universe for your pastimes, but foolish, shameless, agnostic claim proprietorship over it for their enjoyment and think of themselves as the doers or donors. What good can they do for you, the creator, maintainer, and destroyer of the universe? So, Vindhyavali accused Bali that although he was offering his body to Lord Vaman for third step, he was still in ignorance because even the body did not belong to him. So that is a high level of maturity that his wife had. She's saying, hey, when the Lord is saying, give me a third step, place for third step, you're saying, hey, you still have the feeling that this body is yours. In fact, the body is also the Lord's. Vindhyavali prayed that her husband be released by the Lord's causeless mercy. Otherwise, Bali was nothing but a shameless demon, a foolish person claiming proprietorship over Lord's property. And then Lord Brahma also is appealing to Lord Vamandev. Please release him. O well-wisher, O master of all, Bhuta Bhavana, Bhutesha, O worshipable and all-pervading Lord, Deva Deva, Jaganmaya. Please release this man who is bereft of everything now. He doesn't deserve to be punished more. Bali offered you everything he has earned by his pious acts, including his own body, with no hesitation in mind. After Prahlad and Vindhyavali pleased Lord Vamandev by the spiritual statements, Lord Brahma pleased him by practical consideration, and then he offered glories to the Lord. So now Vamandev speaks. He is saying, a dumb-minded person puffed up. This is important. A dumb, and of course, Bali Maharaj is not that, but he uses him. Bali Maharaj becomes a role player in the Leela of the Lord, so that if one becomes puffed up, what will happen? So a dull-minded person puffed up with material opulences has no respect for anyone and defies even my authority. I favor such a person by taking away all his possessions. While rotating in the cycle of birth and death in different species due to karma, the living entity fortunately attains this rare human life. Janma karma vayorupa, Vidyaiswarya dandadibihi. High birth, good activities, youth, beauty, education, opulence, and wealth. Yadi asya na bhavet stambas. Despite possessing all this, if one is not proud, tatrayam mad anugraha, then what happens? Such a person is understood to be favored by me. The Lord did not take away the opulence of prideless persons because it doesn't harm him. One's being deprived of wealth is not always out of Lord's special mercy. Anyway, that is further detail. Then he says, Manastamba nimittanam, false pride and impudence are caused by what? Janmadinam samantataham, high birth and other such qualifications generally. Sarva Shreya Pratipanam, they are impediments in spiritual advancement. Hanta Muhye na matpara, but they never disturb my pure devotees. All this, all the high status, high birth, and all these things, now for devotees, it's not a disturbance. And further, Lord Vamandev glorifies. Bali Maharaj, the foremost among the demons and the most famous, Kirtivardhana, has surpassed the surmountable Maya. In spite of being bereft of all appearances, is fixed in his bhakti without bewilderment, uh, and that uh, this is the highest stage. In order to destroy Maya, the Lord takes away one's wealth and power. But even by being bereft of wealth, Bali was not bewildered. Bali passed all the severe tests put by the Lord. That is another symptom of Lord's mercy upon him. Hmm. And Bali Maharaj, the Lord is saying, Bali Maharaj was fixed in his vow of truthfulness, in spite of being bereft of riches, fallen from his position, defeated and arrested by his enemies, rebuked and deserted by his relatives, suffered the pain of being bound, rebuked and cursed by his guru. Hmm. So Vamandev, after this, he is blessing. He is blessing. Now the blessing is immense. After all, right? When he has given up everything, which is very, very painful to give away, he proved himself to be spotless devotee. So Vamandev blesses him. Now in Sutala planet, uh, and later Indra's position. He's giving two things. After all, yeah. Now you have got Indra's position. I'll give you Indra's position in a later stage, but now you enjoy. Uh, he will become the Indra in the future. Hmm. Until then, he shall live in Sutala planet, made by Vishwakarma, unobtainable by the demigods. He will be in my shelter, Madashraya, being protected by me. Hmm. And he also says Sutala is better than heaven, is free from mental and bodily miseries, fatigue, dizziness, and defeat. I will be his doorkeeper, staying awake all the time to protect him from any attack by envious people. Not only that, yeah. Huh? Oh, Bali, you may now go to Sutala and live there peacefully with your friends and relatives. All good fortune unto you. Huh? The rulers of other planets cannot conquer you there. And if the demons transgress their rule, my disc will kill them. Hmm. Oh, great hero, I shall always be with you and protect you in all ways. You will always be able to see me there. Huh? Oh, demonic influence. There will be no demonic influence there. That's why, because of my prowess there, the anxiety of adopting demonic mentality from your association with the demons will be vanquished. Saying so, uh, this is what, yeah, this is so nice to hear that the Lord, yeah, in this wonderful pastime, we can see that he proves the world how great his devotee is. This is what even we see in the Mahabharata, that Krishna, when he wants, he can be an active fighter and then can establish dharma quite fast. But he want all the glories to his devotee, Arjuna, his favorite devotee. So yeah, so he is ever eager to give all credits to his devotees. And for that matter, we can see how the Lord has conducted this Leela where Bali Maharaj has uh, surrendered himself completely to the Lord's interests and yeah, is glorious. And the Lord, even if one does a small thing, Lord favors immensely. And for what Vaman Dev has done, definitely we can see how he has blessed him. And I think. I don't know if I have that. In the 22nd chapter, there is the Falastuti. I mean, you can read the whole chapter, but I can go to the last part of it. blessings. Okay, no, in the chapter 23. In the chapter 23, in the end, there is what one can get by hearing to this wonderful pastime, because it goes further. Thereafter, along with all the leaders of heavenly planets, Indra, the king of heaven, placed Lord Vaman before him, and the approval of Lord Brahma brought him to heavenly planets. And okay. Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, Lord Kartikeya, the great sage Bhrigu, and other saintly persons, the inhabitants of Pitraloka and other living entities present, including the inhabitants of Siddhalok and living entities who travel outer space, uh, all glorified the uncommon activities of Lord Vamana Dev. O Parikshit, O Maharaj Parikshit, pleasure of your dynasty, I have now described to you everything about the wonderful activities of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vamanadev. Those who hear about this are certainly freed from all the results of sinful activities. One who is subject to death cannot measure the glories of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Trivikrama, Lord Vishnu, any more than he can count the number of atoms on the entire planet Earth. No one, whether born already or destined to take birth, is able to do this. This has been sung by the great sage Vashishta. If one hears about the uncommon activities of the Supreme Personality of Godhead in his various incarnations, he is certainly elevated to higher planetary systems or even brought back home, back to Godhead. And finally, whenever the activities of Vamanadev are described in the course of a ritualistic ceremony, whether the ceremony be performed to please the demigods, to please one's forefathers in Pitralok, or to celebrate a social event like a marriage, that ceremony should be understood to be extremely auspicious. I close here. So this is the glorious fruit of hearing to Vaman Dev's pastime. Yeah, thank you very much. I didn't imagine I could finish in 1.5 hours, because this is a very, very elaborate subject, and somehow I squeezed a bit. Definitely there will be questions because of leaving few gaps there. But if someone have something to add first or have questions, we can take some time.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes.
Thank you for this so much detailed elaboration of the pastime of Bhamandeva. I don't have any questions, although I have heard this pastimes. I mean, not like this. I've heard the story of Bhamandev earlier. I mean, that was just like a story, but not so elaborated. But now, after hearing this katha, it has so much deeper inner meaning, and also the more detailed elaboration from you. It's really wonderful. I'm really grateful to have to be part of this katha.
And I should thank Gauranga Darshan Prabhu's Bhagavad Subodhini. Otherwise, to cover 6 chapters in 1.5 hours, it would be very difficult. Yeah, so all glories to him. I had prepared this notes for myself in my handwritten notes. I somehow lost it somewhere. I didn't get it. But yeah, because of this book readily available, that's why I could read it and make it more relishable, I would say. Yeah, thanks, Parth Prabhu.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I also like that you have expressed your revelation here, because yesterday I was hearing to Chandramouli Maharaj. He was giving a class, Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam class, and he was saying, referring to Padma Puran, that if one hears to Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, yeah, or one who is reading in these scriptures should have 2 or at least one of these. One is one that he should have questions to ask, because okay, he is completely absorbed, but there definitely would be something more to know, or he has realized it that he has no question, because he understands the greatness of that, and yeah, he's spellbound. Yeah. So that remind when you were asking, telling.
Thank you very much, Prabhuji. Thanks a lot. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, thank you. Yes, Harinam Chintamani Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam, Sargosu Shri Prabhupada. Also, thank you so much for your classes, such wonderful insights. And I have a question. It's probably a childish question, but I never dare to ask it. Because, please, can you tell me, it's Vamana Dev was still a child, no? And that's why he was small, or...
No, no. He was not just a child. He is a dwarf. Yeah, so yeah.
So he was really with statue, like he had like a growth, he was
Yeah.
not like an ordinary child.
Yeah, right. He was a dwarf. That's why they say. Hmm. And because of that, one may think that, oh, he's a child.
I see. So he was already adult?
Yeah. So he had this Yagnabhet Sanskar, yeah, Upanayan Sanskar, and after that he goes to this place. And he is said a dwarf Brahmana rather than a child Brahmana. At least I didn't come across that he's a child Brahmana.
Yeah, this I understand, but exactly what you were saying, isn't it that like a Brahmana thread you get at the age of 9, that he was still... I'm sorry, maybe I am too much.
I haven't come across that, but I somehow read somewhere that, yeah, just like if we see that in case of Lord Ramchandra, Lord Krishna, where he appeared as a normal human, whereas here the incarnation itself is addressed as dwarf Brahmana.
Okay.
So
Thank you.
might be if we go into Skanda Puran where there is more details given, we may find out if, yeah, at what age did he go and whether it was a child or not. But here also in Bhagavatam, when we see Bali Maharaj is considering him as a child, but in the scripture it is referred as dove. That is logical that the Lord appeared in the dove Brahmana form, where because of his height, he was thought to be like a child. And this is also can be seen as one of the wonderful leelas of the Lord, yeah, because yeah, otherwise it would be kind of stereotype. Yeah, Lord. Rather here we are seeing that okay, Lord has appeared. When it came to killing of Hiranyakashipu, he came in a unique way. And here to take 3 steps, the topic is about steps. Just imagine if you would have come with a gigantic form, it would have been different. He came in the dwarf form.
It's kind of
So,
sense of humor. I find it.
exactly.
Thank you very
Yeah.
much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, thank you. Adresa Prabhu. You're on mute if you're talking.
Thank you, Prabhuji, for this wonderful narration. So Prabhuji, I have one question that so we see that yeah, Bali Maharaj gave everything, and he was so like he was giving so much high philosophy of bhakti. So how that? But before few minutes, he was like doing the yagna, na? That to get last position. So how come that he got so much transformation? Just yeah, very quickly.
Yeah, I think there is always this nature, right? So he was always very generous. Yeah, his father, yeah, Virochan, is very generous that he gave his life itself. So that blood is there. So he's inherited that spirit of charity, and the charity is there. Yeah. So just imagine, even though you are doing a very um, Vishwajit Yajna, this is what he was doing, asked by, no, Ashwamedha Yajnas that he was doing, asked by his priest. Yeah, he is not charity part of the Yajna anyway. So he was giving charity to Brahmana is anyway part of this. Usually we hear, right? Even when we're talking about Govardhan Giri Puja, right? that in the end, what Krishna is telling, that hey, after that you circumambulate Govardhan and then you feed the Brahmanas, and so charity, giving charity is part of it. He's And now coming the question, so he was not so interested in accumulating more and more wealth. Yeah, he's anyway, after he became the Jagadishwara, right? So he's anyway he's just following what his gurus are telling. Yeah, and then because he's a Kripa Siddha, so when seeing the Lord, just imagine sometimes, don't you see, when though you are so much covered with mode of ignorance, so much mode of passion, but when you come across a sadhu, whatever that inner consciousness, yeah, which is more predominated by mode of goodness, that makes you okay, I should behave like this, I should be like that, I should make use of this. Hmm?
Yes, Prabhuji, yes, yeah. So, I mean, internally he was already a great devotee.
Yeah. Yeah. Internally, I mean, usually we see this also, like, for example, when we talk about, I don't know if you know, there is this, some great devotees of the Lord. If we can see, when we see their life, it's not that they are demonstrating their 100% devotion on day one when they are born. As and when the life will go through a proper storyline where they uh, when they are children, they are naughty. When they are grown up, they are show taste for worldly things, and afterwards they demonstrate what is the purpose for which the Lord has brought them. So all these things will be there, right? So here we can see Bali Maharaj, yeah, who is yeah we can see this Navavida Bhakti, where Bali Maharaj is also considered great, for that reason. So it's only like, okay, when you are in temple, you're fully absorbed in temple services, isn't it? When you're at
Yes,
work and suddenly someone is calling, yeah, when sadhu is calling, what will you do?
yes, Prabhuji. Yeah.
Huh? You say, no, 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 I am now fully fully in the mode of passion and ignorance. Let me finish this, then I'll come into my cap of mode of goodness. Let me then start. No. Yeah.
Okay, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji. And I
Okay.
think somebody also posted a question on chat.
Okay. I'll take first Rishabh Prabhu. His hand is been raised. I don't know how much painful it is. Rishabh, Dev, you're too away from the mic. No, not better.
Hare Krishna. It's better now?
No, I can't hear at all now.
What?
No, I can't hear. Can you say again?
Hare Krishna.
Can anyone hear? I can't hear him. No.
Really? Okay.
No, not really. Yeah. Anyway, sorry, go on. Now
Arya,
we can hear you.
the Prabhuji question मेरा ये था कि
English, na?
Oh, sorry. I forget. We are जो हमारे श्री वामन देव, he knows that Bali Maharaj was a pure devotee, na? He knew about it. It's not that he was there for his purification. So why so intense to him? I mean, he was a pure devotee, Bali Maharaj. He did not really need some kind of this intense treatment. So why this Leela was specifically done with him?
Yeah, your question is very nice. And the answer is also in that. Yeah, the answer is that Bali Maharaj didn't find it so difficult. Yeah, it is only we are finding it so intense now. For him, he said, okay, whatever it is, I am ready to serve the Lord. It is only for us now, because for us, our bhav is not at that level. That's why we think, hey, what is this all? And as I was mentioning, because Lord want to give glories, such a great devotee, isn't it? To get to that bhav, he needs to give such examples so that we can start thinking, oh, okay, yeah, it's not all about my dissatisfaction. It is all about my satisfaction. It is, even if the Lord is satisfied, that is okay. So many principles that Bali Maharaj is living example. So he want to, in Sanskrit, it's called Avishkaran. Avishkaran, it's not like launching. He wants to announce, yeah. He want to announce the world, the greatness of Bali Maharaj.
Okay. So he wanted to glorify basically. So it was
Yeah,
not
we can
really a
see,
purification process.
we can,
Okay.
yeah, he already said, okay, there is something like this, that, yeah, but he gave all credits to him for his greatness. And for that, he's also given such a great position, right? It is not only, hey, I'm just using you like a tissue, but yeah, in the end, he gave him a special world and also said, hey, next, yeah, in the next, you will become Indrapati, yeah, Indra. Yeah. So, yeah, which means also big responsibility. So anyway, in that way, we can see that the pastimes of the Lord, we can always understand there are multiple dimensions that the Lord favors at same time with same Leela.
Very good.
Yeah.
Thank you, Prabhu. I had one more question where I was always thinking we read, I mean, it was generic one. We are always reading this Falstruti in the end of Bhagavatam, such kathas. And Bhagavatam is supposed to be, I mean, it is said that it is the purest, like undaunted form of Vedas and purest form. So in the purest form, I mean, it should be promoting Shuddha Bhakti, that you should not, Shuddha Bhakti means it should not promote anything related to that you will get this phal after you do this. Nah? It should be purely about pleasing the Lord. So why in Bhagavatam Falstuti is mentioned? I mean, why it was important to mention this stuff?
Every pastime has its own purpose. While it is only not relishing for the devotees to hear the pastime, it shouldn't become just like a, what is this called? Akbar Birbal stories or Panchatantra stories. Why are they stories? And again, there is a moral to it. And if you don't catch the moral, what is the purpose of the story? Yeah. So you are seeing that, yeah, definitely we are able to pick up the moral, right? And the moral is nice, but what is that something we can get now? Just by hearing, what can we get? There is also something. Krishna is all merciful that he is giving something even just by hearing. And he's not giving something which is material, right? If he's giving material, then whatever you said is right in Bhagavatam. Why all material advancement is glorified? No, there is no material advancement glorified. It's all part of spiritual advancement, that once sinful reactions are cleared. Isn't it nice? At the same time, as the moral is also there. For example, when Gajendra Moksha is there, okay, these are the things we should not do. And at the same time, when you hear to this pastime, then you get this. So I don't see a problem if the Lord is giving more. Unless, yeah, we see that, okay, there is some material opulences. He's giving, hey, may your house become treasure house. I don't know. If you want that also, maybe then we'll ask, look for that. So Falastuti is basically telling us, for example, this is very wonderful Falastuti. I was telling to Rupa yesterday. It is said that if one is having the Parayan, pravachan of Vamandev at their home or wherever, in the case of what? If you are doing any ritual ceremonies, any ritualistic ceremony that you are doing, but if you are having Vamandev, then it becomes all auspicious.
Very good.
That is the greatness. So even if it is a wedding or if it is some kind of other god programs that you may have, like for example, Ganesh Puja is there, right? All these 11 days. Yeah, just imagine if one makes this Vaman Dev Harikatha on that occasion, all how auspicious it is. So we should also think, hey, because now I am a grihastha, I also have so many kind of rituals that I might be doing. But just including Vaman Dev pastime, it helps us to get what? All the lessons, whatever we want to hear, right? We want to have. We are just hearing as part of this whole ceremony. Hmm? No,
Very good. Yes,
not
Prabhuji.
pleasing. No. Okay.
No, of course.
Hmm?
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. Someone said Adresa Prabhu. Question in chat. The first question I see. Part Prabhu. Yeah, when it comes to the locations, etc., regarding where is what, higher or lower, we see that this is also the question comes, where is Pitralok? Should it be down or up? Yeah. So I would just rely on what Srila Prabhupada refers in Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam 5th canto, which is giving us the locations, positions, etc. And yeah, that would be the reference I would use that. Then is Bali Maharaj demon? What is the definition of demon? If you see, we are talking about Sura and Asura. So we can say that Asuras are demons. And now the question also comes, okay, then there is actually, I mean, I was also looking for the notes where I wrote where there are three classes. There is uh, Devatas, it's clear, and Asuras, it's clear, and then there is Danavas. So we see that Hiranyakashipu, we see Prahlad Maharaj, we see all they come into the Danavas. So in one way they can call as demons, but they're actually little not. They are good beings, but who are in the association of demons. So that's why they are coming into a special category. I'll find the exact, because Shubhavilas Prabhu in Ramayana, in his books, somewhere he wrote that clear definitions of it. I will look and I'll share it. Yeah, I'm not able to get exact definitions of that. I'll look and share it. In Ramayana, when I was speaking, that classification was mentioned. I think it is in the Yuddha Kanda. I think I have to check. I'll check and share it. Okay, Anil Prabhu, and then yeah, I think that's it. No? I think Parth Prabhu shared the graphical presentation of it. Other questions? I don't know. How did you feel? No. Someone in the chat has a question. Adresa Prabhu, did you say Chitramalini has question?
No, Prabhuji, no. Only that question you answered.
Okay, fine. Okay, last minute. Any questions? Anything? How was it? Vamana Dwadasi appearance. Yeah, today in the temple, of course. We can meet, we can have kirtan. In the end, all these things are only towards what? So that we can also, yeah, hopefully we can get that Krupa Siddha association so that they can shower their mercy, but also meanwhile show our um, prove our interest, yeah, that really we want to have such kripa that is possible by sadhana. So when we do the sadhana, so as sadhana siddhas, slowly may once such great personalities shower their mercy, and then yeah, maybe we can get a big push to practice bhakti better. Yeah, thank you very much. Have a nice week. Vanchakalparabhyascha kripa sindhubhyo vacha पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। ग्रंथ श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय। श्री वामन देव की जय। हरे कृष्ण। बलि महाराज की जय।
Hare
Thank
Krishna,
you.
Thank you so
Hare
much.
Krishna.
Hare
Thank you,
Hare
Prabhuji.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
हरे कृष्ण।
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्ण।
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.